Good morning, everyone. Jerry Tabbitt with you once again here on this edition of Military Minutes. We got a special group with us today. First of all, we have Major Patrick Bass, retired. He is with Junior ROTC. He's the senior instructor over at Rutherford. And a couple of cadets that we're going to talk to in just a minute here. First of all, to my right is Zachary Eggers, who wants to go in a couple of years in the Navy, and Mariah Young, who wants to go in the Army. Thanks to both of you for coming in. But first of all, Major Bass, let's talk a little bit about ROTC. A lot of people say, oh, these young men and women, we see them in their uniforms. What's the purpose of it?
Basically, the purpose of JROTC is to make the young men and women in today's society better, productive members of our community. We involve them in various activities around the community to expose them to positive influences such as college tours, military tours. So the primary purpose is to make them better, productive citizens in our society.
And of course, it's all volunteer. You don't go out and say, you, and you, I want you in ROTC.
It is 100% voluntary to become a member of Air Force JROTC.
Now, what are some of the things that you teach them? Once you get them into Junior ROTC, this is good for 4 years, right? What are some of the things that they learn?
Well, we primarily have 3 areas of concentration. We teach aerospace science, and we also teach leadership, and we teach physical education. So those 3 areas makes up the Air Force JROTC experience.
A lot of hard work for them, too. They've got to produce, otherwise they can't stay in.
They must produce, they must make good grades and be a role model around the campus as well. And what we like for them to do is not only participate in the classroom, but we also have them participate outside of the classroom as well, such as these 2 young people here today participating outside of the classroom.
And things keep changing out there. Now, I'm retired military, and I don't mind admitting I've been out 30 years now. You're retired Air Force. We see a lot of changes with our young people. What's some of the changes now, especially, I guess, in technology, would be one of the big things?
There is a lot of changes in technology. Cell phones is one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
A lot of teachers see cell phones as a big distraction in the classroom. You can utilize the cell phone in positive manners as well, looking up research, doing all kind of projects with the cell phones. We have smart board technology in the classrooms as well. So there's a lot of changes from when you and I were in school to what they're experiencing today.
Well, a lot of things go on. Let's talk to our young lady and our young gentleman here today. First of all, Mariah, thanks for coming in today. I appreciate it. Your goal is you want to go in the Army. Tell us about that.
Well, growing up, I'm not from Florida. I'm from Oklahoma, and growing up, I really wasn't the best person, I guess you could say. And so when I moved here and I joined ROTC, it changed me positively. And then I started looking and talking to recruiters, and the Army really stuck out to me. I also have a best friend who's going into the Army, and we're going to use what's called the buddy program.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to enlist and go to basic together.
And you plan on doing this. You're going to graduate this spring, and you're going to go right in, hopefully, right?
Yes, sir.
What do you want to do? What's your job that you picked out that you want to do?
The MOS I have picked out is I want to be an MP, military police, and hopefully I can move up to be a 31 kilo, which is a dog handler.
All right, good deal. I know you'll make it. Hard work will do it. Zach, you're wearing the Air Force Junior ROTC uniform, but you're actually, in a couple of years when you graduate, you decided you probably want to go in the Navy. What brought that decision on?
It more or less runs in the family. For me, going into the Navy, my father was in there for 12 odd years. My brother is currently enlisted. They both had the same jobs, which is intelligence specialist, where they take their intel that they have and they've earned and they build on it and do certain things. And my 2 options for the Navy are intelligence specialist or a DI, a drill instructor for basic, more or less, so I can kind of straighten people out, because that's one thing I love to do in ROTC is take these first-year cadets and turn them into fourth-year cadets.
That's some of the things you learn is leadership. And of all the different things that you've learned, Mariah, what probably stands out as what's really influenced your life the most about ROTC?
I would have to say the self-discipline that it taught me my first year. Coming in as a young, wild child, not really listening to rules, not doing what was expected of me. Colonel Doyle kind of took me under his wing my
Right.
first year.
I know him. Zach, what prompted you to join?
My dad said I was an ROTC, or he was an ROTC his 4 years of high school before he went into the Navy, and he said, give it a shot your freshman year. If you don't like it, you can drop the class. My freshman year, I did, it was half and half. I did like it, I didn't like it. I liked the physical activities. I liked playing
Sure.
kickball and stuff like that. I didn't like wearing the blues, but I learned to like it because that year we had our mass inspection. I wore the service coat most of the year. I liked it. Looked real spiffy, really spiffy.
Sure, sure.
Looked nice. And then sophomore year, we were told we can earn our ABUs our junior year, so I stayed in one more year, earned our ABUs right here. And I like these. These are a lot more comfortable.
There you go. Good deal. Now, Major Bass, you hear these young adults talk like this. How does that make you feel to see the influence that ROTC has had on them?
Well, that's what it's all about, Mr. Tabbitt. The reward is not necessarily monetary as a JROTC instructor. My reward is to see a ninth grader when they first come into the program as a diamond in the rough. And then after just a few months in JROTC, you can start seeing the difference. And then by the time they come back the second year, third year, and if they choose to come back the fourth year, two totally different people. And then the biggest reward is when they come back after they graduate to tell us how much of an impact or influence we had on their lives. And to this day, I've been teaching JROTC now for 7 years now, and I still keep up with the students that I had 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest reward.
That is so good to hear. Mariah, you go out in the community and you do things. How does that make you feel to see that you potentially are going to change a lot of lives by going in the military? You're just changing a few of them right now, but how do you feel about that?
Honestly, it makes me feel a warm, happy feeling inside because that's always what I wanted to do. Even when, I wasn't the best person in the world, all I wanted to do was help and make people's lives better and make them smile and laugh.
Then you know you're going to do that. Attitude, positive attitude. Zach, how do you feel about the community service that you guys do? And you do a lot of it. We see you out around all the time.
The community service I do is primarily to help the community, and it is secondary, not really needed, but it's to help me get into colleges and universities that I like to go to. I like doing the community service because it helps the community. It's fun. We get to go places I normally wouldn't go, like Sims Veteran Home or Pensacola Naval Air Station or FSU next week. Those places I really wouldn't go mostly.
You talked about Sims. You're really seeing the true heroes of our country. What do you learn by going and talking to these older ex-military individuals?
The fact that they fought for our country is very heartwarming, that we have someone who can really look at us and be like, I like this person right here. He's following somewhat the same path as me. And it's really, heartwarming to shake their hands. Like when I shook your hand earlier when we first met, it was really nice to see that you served, how many years you served?
I served 20 plus, yeah.
20 plus years, so you're retired. It was really nice that you went into the Air Force and you fought on that branch. And other people have fought in other branches for our freedom. And I like, hearing their stories about what they did.
It makes us old guys too. We appreciate what you're doing. Mariah, the places that you've gone, what's your favorite? Put you on the spot.
I think my favorite place was when, I have to say this year or the summer, we have a flow program for our incoming freshmen, and I think my favorite place this summer would have to have been cleaning up trash all down Tyndall Parkway and forgot the name of the street.
11th.
Yeah, 11th. We took a bunch of our freshman cadets and we went all the way as far as the train tracks. And we cleaned up trash from there all the way back to Rutherford.
And Major Bass, we see with these young adults here, we see two completely different backgrounds and everything. And both of them are going to be a success. That's what it's all about.
That's exactly right. We take young men and women from various backgrounds. It doesn't matter about if you've been the perfect angel in school or if you had some issues in school. We take the challenge upon ourselves to mold these young men and women and make them into very productive members, not only around the campus, but at home and in the community.
Seeing these two individuals sitting here talking right now, how does that make you feel inside to see that you've had that influence on them?
It makes me feel very, very proud to see two young people that they could be anywhere. They could be at the school getting into trouble. They could be at home getting into trouble. To introduce them to things that they've never been exposed to before in a positive manner, and to see them grow up before my eyes and become positive role models for the younger people, that's special.
Yeah. Do you feel accepted, Mariah, we'll let you answer first and then Zach, do you feel accepted in the community when you're out doing these things and the area that you're in, they know that you're with ROTC?
I do feel accepted because I've never felt the feeling I feel when I'm helping out my unit. I've never felt it before. I've never felt the sense of happiness and hope that I have now.
Wow. Zach? You top that one, okay?
I don't know if I can. I do like it when people say thank you for me helping out. What I really like is when older gentlemen that were in the Air Force, Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, when they say thank you for your service, that really makes me feel good about it. I can tolerate most of the middle schoolers when they say, "Oh, you're in the Army because you're an Army man." That kind of.
But that's
doesn't
their
settle
way of
well.
learning too.
That is their way of
their
learning.
Acknowledgement. Would you recommend this to anybody?
I would. ROTC changed me for the better, honestly.
Zach?
I would also recommend this. We help each other out. Really, it's not just a class; it's more of a family. Is what our ROTC program is at Rutherford. It's a one giant family. I've known people since my freshman year that I'll probably know a lot longer into my naval career.
And you'll keep up too. Major Bass, we got 1 minute left to go. I'm going to let you sum it all up.
All right. Again, JROTC at Rutherford is a tremendous program. We're looking for young men and women, 9th grade through 12th grade. Whether you're in the 9th grade or whether you're in the 12th grade, you could try JROTC. JROTC is a program where you can stay in there from 1 year up to 4 years. And again, our purpose is not to send you off to the military, but it's to make you a better person in society, whether it's military or non-military.
All right. Major Patrick Bass, retired, the instructor responsible for these young men and women. Cadet Mariah Young, Cadet Zachary Egger, thank you for doing what you're doing in school, and we look forward to seeing you in the military as very productive members of the military. Thanks to all of you for coming in today. Hey, that's it. Our time is up. That's this edition of Military Minutes. We'll be back next week with a brand new edition. In the meantime, enjoy your week. Have a great day, everyone.